Oh, we got flechette dischargers. That's probably not the right way to say flechette. Yeah, I'm back in Gladius after it's, well, been a minute. So I'm stuck in this position of, I think I've said before in previous recordings, I want to move on to an Eldar or Mechanicus game. However, I'm stuck in this position of just this firm defensive wall and the AI really doing nothing to push against me. I want to wrap this up, and this position is just too safe. It's just too easy for me to sit here and do nothing and not play the game. Just sit here and farm. So I want to go ahead and wrap things up here. So my plan is to try and leverage the considerable amount of resources I have to work on more. Hang on. Down at the Zarvesa Crisis Center. More storm surges. And I intend to just simply use those to... Let's see, I need 31 people here. To just roll over the opponent. And I assume the AI has not been deliberately just giving me an easy time. I have to assume the AI was busy fighting each other rather than me here. So I'm going to be moving all of my units at least somewhat forward. I don't remember where I was last time. It's irrelevant. If anything happens, that's more exciting than the nothing that's been kind of happening for the last several recording sessions. I do see several Fortresses of Redemption, which imply that the Space Marines have been doing the best out of the AI. I do see a captain and a set of Centurions there, which will be a not inconsiderable threat, that's for certain. But I'll be pushing forward to try and do at least some damage to them there. Now, the Centurions, it appears, have a range of 3. That is more than I expected. And do quite a lot of damage to my Storm Surge. How about that? Alright, the Fireblade, I'm going to go ahead and let him sit up front. Why not? I'm just trying to do something here. The campaign has gotten to the point of ease where it's no longer a matter of do I win. It's just, let's have something interesting happen for the love of God. So we'll be letting all of these guys just go ahead and take their hits. And we can go ahead and put down a marker drone. Could be fun. Let's see, does anyone have a good shot on these guys? Yes, they do. Well, let's throw down a marker drone. And if it doesn't die, which it might die to the... Oh, there's an extra set of Terminators back there. Okay. Well, then these Fire Warriors are going to put down... Nope, not that. The Fire Warriors are going to put down a marker drone. And they will go ahead and mark those Centurions. And the Storm Surge will do even more damage to the Centurions. Yeah, that sounds good. And can he throw a little extra something at him to do more damage? Let's see. The Fireblade... Whoops! Break Composure. That's not what I meant to use. I didn't realize this Fireblade didn't have the ability I was looking for. Ah, well. What can you do? The Fireblade is not going to do much damage at all to anyone, so... And nonetheless, I can throw a little... It'd be better to just throw a Marker Light on the Captain, even if I never end up using it. Like, it's just so useless, what the Fireblade can do by itself. And these missiles should finish off the Centurions, so the Centurions don't get any last shots to deal damage to me. And this Fireblade also is leveled up. Excellent. This Hammerhead could throw some Seeker missiles at that Captain, but it won't really do anything of note. And the Seeker missiles just aren't that good altogether. Let's see, is there anyone else we can get in here on this? Alright, this Razor Shark fighter. Yeah, we're just throwing everybody here. We don't care. Can do a fair bit of damage to these Terminators using the Razor Shark's guns once they're overcharged. You know, on Terminators, that's pretty good. And just move up the whole line. At this point, I just want something to happen, okay? Keep the Sky Ray in the back there. We want to keep it for the inevitable flying, flanking, whatever that they're going to try and throw at us. And put a commander out there as well. And move up that Hammerhead. Or perhaps down here, just in case they try to do something down there. Let's see, who else can we move up? These Pathfinders, sure, I don't even have anything for them to do, but I'll just be moving everybody up because I want to get something done. Consequences be damned. And an ethereal. Excellent. Alright, these Fireblades, I'll just have them all sit there and do nothing. Okay, we have the ability to produce a building. And Nuanal, the city where I have started producing a little bit of everything, I believe, to try and get the Utopia bonus rolling. We can throw down another mineral building here, especially if we want to start producing loads of storm surges. So I'll go ahead and do that. And in Hoior, we can go ahead and throw down a building as well. Let's see. Oh, Malkara. I forgot I had built that one. Let's see. Do you have an Anthrazotum Foundry? Or Brocturonum Foundry, excuse me. You do not just yet, so you will get to work on a Brocturonum Foundry. And you will probably not be online by the time I wrap the game up, either if I win or lose. This Hammerhead can throw out another Seeker Missile just for laughs, and it will. And this particular Razor Shark also can throw out some Seeker Missiles. It's better to put them on the Terminators. There we go. The city of Kais can produce a building, but I don't have any money, so it won't. I'll order both of those cities to skip the turn. And are there any techs I even remotely care about at this point? Not really. The Charpactan Ambassadors. Reduces the influence cost of For the Greater Good. That is a good ability, so I'll do that. Especially against Space Marines, who are so resistant to morale damage altogether. So we will keep pushing ahead here. Now, we know there's a Fortress of Redemption right there, and it's going to have a range of 3. And there is a Old One artifact of some kind. I would love to get an Old One artifact. Oh, wow, another set of Centurions. The Space Marine player, it seems, has just built a lot of those, which is understandable. Those are just a really good late-game unit for them. So I will go ahead and have to worry about the possibility of there being more of those. We've got another 2 Fortresses of Redemption here, which is about what I expected. But the forest protects us, so we won't just be bombarded just yet. The Storm Surge can push on ahead. I don't want to walk it onto the Wireweed. You would think it wouldn't take that much damage from the Wireweed, but apparently Wireweed is just that deadly. There we go, moving the whole army up. That Devilfish has an extra 4 Fire Warriors stored inside. We're going to move this Hammerhead up. It's going to take a little bit of fire from the enemies, but I don't really care. Ah, this Marker Drone is still alive. Excellent. Hang on, let's let the plane move last. The plane could take a lot of damage if it's in the wrong place at the wrong time. The Storm Surge, always the best damage tool in the arsenal. And the Hammerhead will move on up. Pathfinders as well, and the Fireblade. Alright. So, let's see. The Storm Surge, yes, we will go ahead. Do it. Let's get the Marker Drones to mark the Captain. Oh, the Marker Drones can mark the Space Marines. The Captain, we need to take more damage, though, because that guy otherwise takes very little damage. Even with Marker Light on, that guy doesn't take very much damage at all. The Hammerhead is going to do most of the work, then. The Storm Surge will only contribute a very, very small amount of damage, evidently. I'd rather it just sit and wait and overwatch. Hang on, who else can get shots here? These Tactical Space Marines are apparently very well covered by the forest. This Hammerhead can do some damage to that Chaplain. Kill the Chaplain won't be able to support so much. And this Hammerhead can also do some damage to the Chaplain. It just so happens... Okay, there's a smoke screen there. Okay, that's why I can't hit the Centurions. Let's see. The Crisis Suit is going to die next turn. It'll throw out a very pithy little attack that is pitiful, but nonetheless, it's better than just it dying and doing nothing in the process. Let's see here. We can also have the Riptide take a shot here. Will the overcharged version do more damage? Yes, it will. So we'll also apply Hammer of Wrath, and that'll do a considerable sum of damage. We could also sacrifice some HP for a damage buff, but we don't have any Builder Drones nearby to repair it, so we won't do that. There we go. Not a great amount of damage, but enough to put them on notice. This Razor Shark could... Let's see, we've got Devastators there. Okay, they're going to take down that Razor Shark immediately. But that was the risk I took. I'm just trying to do anything exciting now. I just don't want this game to keep going as what it was, which was a game where nothing happened and I just kept forgetting to record it all. Okay, let's see. Now, yeah, there we go. The Devastators are going to do the meat of the damage. It lives! Somehow. Well, I can apply the Jink buff. Turn off Overcharge. I don't want to do self-damage. Apply the Jink buff, and let's see. Which of you can I do the most damage to that's meaningful? The Land Speeders are fairly beefy, so... At the same time, hitting the Scouts... I don't know, these are all... The Assault Marines will be a threat in the future because of the melee damage they can do, so I'll focus on them. There we go. This Builder Drone we will keep behind the enemy. The Commander will keep going. The Sky Ray will keep going as well, just in case I see any flyers. These Fire Warriors, let's all just push all these guys on ahead. Who else is left that needs to be ordered? These Builder Drones, I'll just have them sit their little butts right there. Butts? I keep being unsure if I want to swear in my own videos or not. I've said ass in at least one past video, so it's just not a smart impulse to have. I mean, it's entertaining in YouTube videos, that's the issue. Swearing and being vulgar and being a maniac in YouTube videos is entertaining. But in, average day-to-day life, there's just simply too many people who get offended by it. It's just not a rational choice to make. Let's see here. Can we produce a Storm Surge here? Yeah, but it'd take a long time. We could set up another Crisis Center, though. That would produce them faster. But it'd probably be smarter to just set up more mineral buildings instead, since I need those, and if I'm going to be producing more Storm Surges, they're going to take a lot of my money. So I'll go ahead and set up that tile to produce more mineral production centers there. Let's see, we can order another couple cities. Let me trade some influence for some minerals and also for a population. Let's see. There we go, a little bit of population in Kais. And here in Kais, we can also produce another building, since I've made all these buildings right here. I can increase our influence production, and that way we can get more fire blades out. We get more fire blades out, we can get more of everything out. So that'd be quite nice. I might just go ahead and do that. It would be a loyalty hit for Kais itself, but Kais is never going to be great for loyalty unless I get absurd fire blade production up and going. Alright, here in Hoyor, let's see. Yep, we've got not a whole lot of building slots, but we can expand the city somewhat. We are losing food and population growth. Oh, that doesn't matter, right? Because I'd set that up deliberately. We're doing good for all resources. We're doing very good for all resources. That's quite nice. But in the future, we may need more energy if we want to produce more of an air force. We can also set up another airfield to produce planes quicker. That is a population and influence building. Okay. Well, I don't really have any good influence tiles left in Hoyor. So I'd be better off just using that putting that on a tile that's not so good. Let's see, any given one of these tiles are just kind of so-so, I suppose. Including this one. I don't really want to set up farming here, because that's Kais' gimmick, and I don't want to set up minerals here, because that's New Onal's gimmick. So, the gimmick of Hoyor, I suppose, is still energy. We've already got as much influence as we can get out of these buildings here. But let's go ahead and expand a tile onto this tile right here. It doesn't seem so good. That way we can set up a airfield there. Boy, the Necrons seem to have been entirely overrun by Space Marines here. If the Razor Shark survives, I'll be amazed. Okay, the Imperial Guard's got a tank commander. That's good for them. The Razor Shark survives! Through an indescribable miracle. Alright, good enough for me. The Hammerhead needs to pull back and be repaired by the Builder Drone. Let's let the Builder Drone do its work. Okay, now the rest of the army, let's see. How much work can we get done here? We need to do some more damage to these Centurions. The Centurions and the Devastators are doing far and away the most damage to my units. I've taken a mostly vehicle focus here. So, which, I mean, I was surrounded by so many minerals, that was pretty well inevitable. And it seems like every time I play Gladius, I'm always just surrounded by loads and loads and loads of minerals. I don't want the Riptide to take the first initial hits against these units, so I'm going to push this Hammerhead up. This Hammerhead will eat the Overwatch, except there is no Overwatch. But I'm not going to complain about that, because that means I can get even closer to getting rid of these Centurions. And can I hit him with a Seeker Missile to finish him off? It's pretty close. Let's see, this Crisis Suit, I can move these Crisis Suits in closer, but they will take a lot of damage from the Fortress of Redemption, and also probably the Storm Raven here. Let's see, I can move this Hammerhead up, and this Hammerhead can do quite a bit of damage to their captain and to their tactical marines. Let's see, I'll move this Hammerhead up real close to the tactical marines, and it'll go ahead and do quite a bit of damage to them. The Fireblade, I don't want to really do a whole lot with. It is mostly reliant on infantry, and I don't have a lot of infantry. This Storm Surge will move it up. It can always do a lot of damage. Storm Surges are great for that. Hang on, let's see. What setup am I running here? This Pathfinder is in a good position. Oh, I'm moving him up way closer. Guess I'm not going to complain. He can do a lot of damage to the tactical marines. Let's see. He can also throw down a drone. He can do that for free, though. So we'll give it a second. Yeah. Let's see. You can do a bit more damage to the tactical marines with the rockets. There we go. And then the Pathfinders would get really close to finishing off those guys. Can I get the Fireblade to do a bit of damage? Yes, I can. And he wouldn't do much damage to the captain anyways. I'm really not sure what Fireblades are supposed to do any damage to. At all. It seems like they just don't do damage. Let's see. We can do a standard or overcharged. Overcharged makes no difference. Okay. Well, in that case, let's go ahead and take some shots here. And we can also go ahead and put down a drone, which is exactly what we're going to want to do. There's grav inhibitors, which reduce movement. I'm not worried about the enemy running away. That can increase the range of allied pulse weapons. That is a good one. I might go ahead and do that in a little bit, but it doesn't have an attack. And I kind of want something... Well, these Space Marines can finish him off. Yeah, I'll do that. These Fire Warriors can finish off those Space Marines. Excuse me. Okay, now I'm going to put down the Pulse Accelerator drone, because that's going to be useful. And in the process, it's also going to cap that point for me, giving me a free 2 food. That's not very good here in the late game, but it's better than not having 2 free food, I suppose. Let's see, this Hammerhead, let's see. How close can we get? We can finish off these Devastator Centurions. Okay, good. Okay, now let's see. Is it possible, let's see, the Chaplain has, how much loyalty does he, morale does he have? 19. It is possible for us to annihilate the morale of him. Which would be pretty funny, considering Chaplains, I want to say, are supposed to be unbreakable, or whatever equivalent there is on the 40k tabletop. Not for certain. How much would it cost me? 200. I won't spend the influence for that. It's just kind of doing it for laughs. Let's see. The Storm Surge, I would rather do more damage to this captain that's closer, but this captain that's farther is going to take more damage. So I'll go ahead and shoot the captain that's farther. There we go. And then I'll step on the one that's closer, doing very little damage. Alright, who is left that doesn't have anything they can do? I can use the Pulse Accelerator to raise the range of any unit. Hang on, that might be at least good. Oh, I can use that on the Storm Surge. Really? That might be pretty good. Yeah, I'll hold off on doing that just now, because none of these guys would benefit from it, but... Let's see, the Crisis Suits I can push on ahead. They'll end up taking a lot of hits, though. This Hammerhead would be able to take the hits better, so I'll push it up a little bit. It's going to take quite a bit of damage, though. Ah, the Storm Raven has not used its attack yet. Okay, it did less damage than I expected. And then the Fortress of Redemption is going to do quite a bit more damage, unless it just doesn't attack. Okay. Now, let's see. The Fortress of Redemption has lost a considerable amount of morale. We can finish off this captain, probably, using the Seeker Missiles. So let's go ahead and throw some Seeker Missiles on him, and he is dead. Excellent. Okay. This Hammerhead also has the ability to use their Seekers on the Chaplain. Seekers aren't that good. I don't mind wasting them. Now, I'm sure there's some hidden meta to Seeker missiles that I'm just not aware of, but that's just the price you pay when you play video games. You can't start off an expert. Alright, these Fire Warriors will push on ahead to scout a little bit. These Pathfinders will be close behind them. Broadsides, Ethereals. Oh boy, we got the full selection here, don't we? This Devilfish, which will hang out in the back lines here with its 8 million Fire Warriors it has camped out inside it. Yeah, we're really pushing in on them here. Oh boy. So much firepower. You aren't kidding, pal. Now, let's see. Mr. Riptide, who do you stand to do the most damage to? Evidently, the overcharged version is just worse, in this case, at least. So, we will have you go ahead and do some damage to... The Storm Raven is probably the most worrying. I don't know, let's see. The Fortress of Redemption has 2 las cannons. That is much worse for the heavy units that I've got. A Crackstorm missile silo, that's pretty heavy, and a heavy bolter. Yeah, actually, and this one's got 6 bolt guns, Storm Strike missiles, heavy link bolters, and the assault cannon. So it's more of an anti-infantry tool. Alright, then we want to focus on hitting the Fortress of Redemption instead, since I'm running such a vehicle-heavy setup here. So I will go ahead and do quite a bit of damage to the Fortress of Redemption right there. And the Storm Surge, similarly, will do a massive amount of damage to the Fortress of Redemption. Very, very good. So go ahead and hit them like that. And we can also hit them with Destroyer missiles, which will do a great amount of damage. Excellent. Alright, and the Sunshark Bomber can similarly throw out its Seeker missiles to bother the Fortress of Redemption, yes. I find it funny taking out the morale of a building. I mean, I understand that it's the occupants inside the building that are now demoralized, but still, it's funny. Let's see. Oh, a mobile holo projector. Don't mind if I do. And that is a big health loss for all of their units and a health gain for mine. Thank you, sir. That's brutal for them that I found that. Right, these Fire Warriors will push on ahead. The Sky Ray will stay right here. The Sky Ray I want to use to escort my builder drone against the Air Force, which the Imperial Guard, I'm sure, has sitting ready and waiting to deploy at any time. Let's see. New Onel, we can go ahead and throw down. Let's see. Well, for one thing, I'm wondering about... Let's go ahead and trade for minerals. Let's go ahead and grab a extra population in Kais as well. There we go. Now, in New Onel, the first priority, as ever, is to produce more minerals, as I am ever running low on these things. Now, the Tiger Shark, I'm curious about that one. That's a big energy cost and a big mineral cost, but it's probably worth... I'm just gonna do it. I'm going nuts, man. Alright, and Hoyor can produce a building as well. Excellent. So I will have them work on an airport as well. Excellent. There we go. I'll end the turn. Those Devastators are just sitting there taking damage on that wireweed. Brilliant. Those are some poorly placed Devastators. Hoo boy. Yep, there they go. Okay, so the Fortress of Redemption can get a shot at those Fire Warriors. It can at least get a shot at them. And that Fortress of Redemption can as well. So that Fire Warrior is very, very close to death. But it doesn't matter, it can pull back. Okay, so now we've gauged just about the range of that particular Fortress of Redemption. We can pull back a little bit until we're ready to throw more vehicles at it after we finish off this one. Which, let's see, the Storm Surge here, the Riptide can go around. We can see what's back here. They're trying to get their Storm Raven away and their Chaplain. Both are pretty valuable units, I understand, not wanting to lose them. Ooh, that would be a... oh, that's no damage at all. Wow, that was nothing. Wow! Well, in that case, I can just pester the Riptide, I mean, the Storm Raven, because the Fortress of Redemption is going to go down to one of my other units. It doesn't matter which one. The Storm Surge isn't going to have that much movement capability anyways. Let's see, this Storm Surge can deal quite a bit damage to the Chaplain. You cannot stomp on buildings. Alright, well, let's see how the rest of my units can move before we decide who's going to attack what. Because, let's see, there's a lot of units that are primed to attack a lot of other units. Now, let's see, you, Mr. Pulse Accelerator Drone, can accelerate the pulse of... Hang on, do any of you guys need extra range? Well, I could throw a pulse acceleration on these guys, but it's not going to do much. At the very least, it'll give them some nice Overwatch range. I don't want them attacking the Fortress of Redemption. That's just a waste of everybody's time. The Storm Surge can go ahead and attack the Captain. Let's see, who else can attack the Captain? Oh, the Pathfinders won't do bad damage to the Captain. But the Storm Surge is going to do most of it. Go ahead and work on taking him out. Now, if we kill a Chaplain, that should cause an economic hit for the Space Marines, since the Chaplains increase the loyalty of their cities. But I don't believe hitting the Captain will hurt their economy all that much. Let's see, we can do just about the same amounts of damage between the Devastators and the Captains, but I'm more worried about the Devastator. Okay, and the Captain here... I should have put down a Break Composure, but, doesn't really matter. He can apply Break Composure to himself, sure, just to do an extra little bit of morale damage. That way he won't do any damage back when he inevitably swings back at me. And we can go ahead and use Stomp on the Captain, but it's not going to really do anything. These Fire Warriors can move up, but they have so little movement that it's irrelevant. They'll just be stuck behind the other units. This Captain, still not really in range to provide its buffs as much as I would want, but... I keep halfway forgetting about it anyways. There we go, keep healing that Hammerhead. Tell the Hammerhead to sit there until it is healed. Tell the Sky Ray to not do anything for the next turn or so. And this Razor Shark will also go back to get healed. This Captain... Or, excuse me. This Commander is ready to do some damage to the Captain, so go ahead and take a shot there. As are these Fire Warriors, though they're not really going to be doing anything. Can anyone else hit the Captain? They can. It'd really just be better to, throw some Marker Light on him, see if that does anything. Is that going to help much? Yes, it will. Excellent. There we go, and maybe the Fire Warriors will finish him off? No, they won't. Really? Okay. Well, at the very least, they'll give him something to think about. I don't care that much. Alright, let's see. You, Mr. Sunshark Bomber, can do a fair bit of damage to the Devastators, especially now the Devastators have already spent their Overwatch on my Hammerhead. So, I will go ahead and let's see. A Pulse Bomb would do all of the damage ever. Okay, good to know. And, hang on. Okay, there's the Interceptor Drone. I'll keep that locked up for in case I need it for later. So, we will go ahead and use the Pulse Bomb to just remove the Devastator Marines at all. Altogether. Just gone. That feels good. I like it. Why did I get health from doing it? Anyways, and we can also do a fair bit of damage to the Terminators, but that's not what this is about. Actually, come to think of it, the Interceptor Drone will be good for using on the Storm Raven, because the Storm Raven, if we're going air-to-air combat here, yeah, that's good. If we overcharge it, it does less damage. Okay, still a good amount of damage for it to just be drones against a very big, very heavy plane like that. The Hammerhead stands poised to do quite a bit of damage to the Storm Raven, so we will keep that, laying that on thick. Excellent, and these kinds of hits can be so brutal for the Space Marines in the late game. Because in the early game as the Space Marines, you get an advantage because in the early game, it's more about production time versus the cost of a unit. You have more money than you have time on some level. That's not entirely accurate, but the later the game goes, for instance, for the Necrons or for the Mechanicus or the Eldar, who like their units a bit more expensive, money gets to be more of a problem while you can produce units just about instantly. While for the Space Marines, production's still kind of a problem in the late game just because you can only have one city. Either which way, is there anyone here who can kill the Fortress of Redemption instantly? Who does the most damage to the Chaplain? Hang on. Let's see. This guy can do some damage to either. These Fire Warriors can move on around. I'm curious what this little peninsula has for me. There's definitely a Fortress of Redemption down here. The Space Marines have just been going nuts with those things. Move the Devilfish up with the very valuable cargo. These broadsides might be the go-to tool here for trying to remove those Fortresses of Redemption here. The double Fortress of Redemption setup here is going to be brutal to deal with. This Ethereal can sit behind friendly lines rather comfortably. Let's move up this Crisis Suit. These Fire Warriors as well. These Fire Warriors are just going to have to run on home. I don't have a Builder Drone to spare for them. Now, let's see. Which of you does the most damage to the Chaplain? Oh, you've already moved. Okay, 1.8, 1.9, 1.8. This guy can actually go ahead and kill that Captain back there, but I'd rather do more damage to the Chaplain, because the Chaplain's more likely to get away in this position, whereas that Captain's got nowhere to run. This Hammerhead can also finish off the Storm Raven, so we're going to have it do that. There you go. Even the Chaplain is taking considerable morale damage now. Let's see, you all can finish off the... Yeah, you both can finish off the Fortress of Redemption. The Devilfish can do a little bit of damage, but that's just pointless. But yeah, do you do the same amount of... No, you do not do the same amount of damage to the Chaplain. Okay, take out the Fortress of Redemption. There we go. That control point is now ours. It's a free mineral and a free power. That's not really great, but hey, I'll take it. And we'll do quite a bit of damage to the Chaplain. There we go. Good stuff. This Devilfish has Seeker Missiles, apparently. I don't care. And this Crisis Suit can go ahead and do some damage to the Chaplain as well as locking the Chaplain down by putting a marker drone right here that will then mark him and block his path so he can't run away. There we go. Okay, and that's all of our units moved. Here in Nuanal, we can produce another building, which of course we are going to produce a mineral building, naturally. For more minerals, the ever-valuable resource in the late game. And Kais, similarly, stands poised to produce another building of some kind. And as such, let's see, did I ever put an airport in Kais? Yes, I did, okay. In that case, well, we're producing a lot of influence here. Let's see, the best hero production city I have is Hoyor. So, if I want to commission another Fireblade, he requires 130 minerals, 540 influence. But if I get him up and running, that is increased production in all of my cities. So, let's see. Yeah, Kais, we will go ahead and... Well, we need more minerals more than anything else, as ever. As is typical here. But in Kais, we can still work on other things. Let's see. Which... probably just smarter to hold off then, to not spend. So I'll skip Kais. And I will also proselytize to put some more people in Nuanal. Excellent. And I will also choose my research. There's really not much left that I can do here. Vectored retro thrusters. These are all just add-ons. We can spend influence for energy, I guess. But probably not. And we can also get stealth suits. Why the hell not? I've just about hit the end of the tech tree just in terms of just completion. Which is pretty rare in Gladius and usually a sign that you've been taking things way too slow, which is a big part of why I'm now just throwing storm surges around like a maniac. Okay, the plane. Hang on. Does the mobile holoprojector provide healing over time? That can't be right. Where am I getting healing from? Where is the Sun Shark getting healed from? That makes no sense. What is healing him? Automated repair system. Ah, yes, that. Right, okay. Well, you, Mr. Razor Shark, Sun Shark Bomber, you do very little damage at all, altogether, to the Terminators, so I'm going to move you back here, maybe? No, you're not really good for damage against any of these guys. You're better against massed infantry, if I had to take a guess. So I'm going to just pull you back. Now, let's see. This Hammerhead can fly on around to try and do some damage to that Hunter. Some very good damage to the Hunter. Excellent. Tank-to-tank combat. That's what this is all about. Alright, this Captain still just refuses to die. It's insane. This Pulse Accelerator drone I figured would be more useful later on once we get past the Captain, but the Captain has just stood here and took it like a champ. Credit where credit is due. So, let's see. Can we throw a marker light on him to do some more damage and please just evaporate him? Captains heal a ton, don't they? They have some kind of ability that gives them the ability to self-heal a bunch. Okay, it's such a tremendous waste of a Storm Surge to do that. Is there anyone else who can do any damage at all to this guy? Pathfinders and Commander can do a bit of damage. Okay. Can we just get rid of this dude, please? Oh my god, he's still alive. Can these Fire Warriors move up to attack him? No, they can't. Oh my god. Can I get this marker pulse accelerator drone just out of the way then, so that these Fire Warriors can move up to attack him? Yes, there we go. Finish him off. Thank you. Be gone. This Storm Surge, I want to move this Storm Surge down to the southwest to deal with these Fortresses of Redemption, which are going to be so problematic otherwise. Let's see, yeah, this Chaplain does have the loyalty buff. That's funny. It's going to suck for these guys. Alright, then let's go ahead and hit this Chaplain with another marker light. Now, who do we want to do the killing blow here? Who will do the killing blow here? A Hammerhead, apparently. Very nice. Let's see. Yeah, go ahead. It's going to be pretty well the killing blow. Then the Crisis Suits or the Riptide can finish him off. And once that happens, that will be a 12 loyalty hit to their city. Ooh, I forgot about how strong the Chaplain is as a support hero. Alright, excellent. And there you go. Let's see. Now, there's going to be a Fortress of Redemption down here. Let's go ahead and find it. Take this occupation, this checkpoint as well. What on earth? You can turbo boost your interceptor drones. Okay then. And maybe I'll just have these guys scout around. They're not doing anything Whoa. That was weird. We lost sight of the enemy, lost sight of the Terminators for a little bit. That was funny. I guess they were hoping to try and hide them in the forest? I don't know what the plan was. Let's see. This Storm Surge, we may need its help up in the northeast. The Imperial Guard probably doesn't have that many cities, so we could probably knock the Guard over pretty quickly, especially considering the Space Marines were seemingly putting a lot of pressure on them themselves. Let's see. This Storm Surge can finish off the Hunter and prevent it from doing more damage to my vehicles. Excellent. Okay, and this Fireblade will do nothing of significance, as is typical for their kind. They are really just there to support my cities. They're not really that good unless you just have loads of food so they can make your Fire Warriors better. Alright, these Fire Warriors, there's a lot of wireweed here. That's not going to make it super easy to get through here. May need the Builder Drone to come down whenever it's done helping these vehicles. Let's see, we'll move the Builder Drone here, then have it heal the Razor Shark. The Hammerhead self-heals, so it can finish off whatever little health it needs in 2 turns. It heals 2 per turn and only has 4 missing. So that's going to work out pretty well. Let's see, how many other units have we got left that don't have orders? This Fireblade, who is also more or less useless. Let's see, who else? We got a Hammerhead here that's doing nothing. Let's move him up. He can do some damage to the Terminators. And who else over here is doing nothing? The Devilfish. Yeah, the Devilfish is a good way of getting infantry across the wireweed. That might be a solid plan for at least a temporary stopgap. Can't really help the battle suits, though. Alright, the broadsides can get close to the Forces of Redemption to do some damage to it. And not take very much damage in the process, either. Very nice. So, let's go ahead and get a marker drone out here on the field. Those marker drones are going to get killed by that other Fortress of Redemption. Or not. Right? Las cannons. Not that good against infantry. And we cannot apply marker light to the Fortress of Redemption. Right? You can't put marker light on a building. But we can use it to try and get rid of those scouts. Because those scouts are going to be annoying. Let's see. However, the Crisis Suit is probably better built to do that damage. Oh my god, yes it is. Goodbye, scouts. Very good. I've probably annihilated the entirety of the Space Marines army here by just attacking it in the back while it's busy pressuring the Necrons to the guard. So that worked out pretty happily for me. I'm going to go ahead and put down some shield drones. The shield drones will go ahead and apply the shield buff to the Crisis Suits, but more importantly, they'll take the fire of that Fortress of Redemption so it doesn't hit me. And we can start to tear down these Fortresses of Redemption here. Yeah, it's going to take some time until we get the Storm Surge here, though, because that's going to be our primary building killer. Alright. Who is left that needs to be ordered? Oh, we've got Seeker Missiles as well. Excellent. Okay, which of you still needs to be moved? These Fire Warriors do. We can move them up to do a little bit of damage to the Fortress of Redemption, but for the most part, let's just keep them there as a backline. The Ethereal could be really good here. You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead. Storm of Fire, we'll apply that. And... what's the cooldown on Zephyr's Grace? 10 turns. I'd rather use it than not. It is so strong, but I'd better save it. These Pathfinders, what's the range on these? Only 2. It looks like it's a sniper rifle, but it's not. Okay, this Fireblade's ready to level up. He's been in the proximity of enough killing, so we'll go ahead and get him Break Composure. And the Razor Shark can move forward a little bit. It's already been healed. This Skyray will move up as well, ready to hit any enemy flyers that come in, which I am shocked I have not seen an Imperial Guard or Necron flyer come in to try and snipe my builder drone. They've got a keen sense for that. I can trade some influence for some minerals, and also for an extra population in Nuanal. Let's see, and here in Nuanal, we will go ahead and produce... let's see, we've got a mineral building up. We could stand to have some more. But we could also spend a lot of minerals right now on a Fireblade, which would increase my output of everything. So I'll go ahead and shell out the minerals and influence for that. While also, let's see, expanding our mineral production here. What's the best mineral tile here that we haven't expanded onto yet? It's going to be this guy. So we will expand there and set up another couple mineral plants. Meanwhile, we can also go ahead and spend influence for some suit mods, but I won't do that. It's better to spend the influence... for my playstyle, it's better to spend the influence on heroes and for trading for minerals, since I'm just constantly at somewhat of a mineral deficit. I'm just spending so much of it. Let's see. I'm at a greater mineral expenditure than profit. I don't know. You understand what I'm saying. You get it. Even if you think you don't get it, you get it. Let's see. We can also produce a loyalty building in Kais, which is honestly probably what we should look into at this point. Let's see. Let's pick a tile that I'm not going to end up using here. That tile, sure. We're going to go ahead and just start putting out a bunch of loyalty buildings in Kais, because Kais, let's see. How's the loyalty in each of my cities? Hoior has 44 loyalty. Nuanal has 42. Kais has 27. Malkara has 36. Yeah, Kais is easily bringing up the rear in terms of loyalty, so we can focus on trying to fix that. Let's see. Velocity Tracker, I'm sure that's going to be useful for some situation. There will probably be some situation where I have a flyer versus mech, and I can just go ahead and spin the influence to get that mod on there as I need it. Once you get the upgrades on Fortresses of Redemption, they are strong, man. And there's the guard. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and take some units. Let's not scout with the Devilfish. The Devilfish has dudes inside of it, so it'd be a big loss if it gets killed. Let's see. This Hammerhead can fly on ahead, capture that Jakaro encampment. Extra influence is never bad. This Devilfish will camp out in the nearby forest and accidentally run into the damn Terminators who have been hiding here for so long. Can we just finish them off already? Good God. There we go. Goodbye. Alright, this Hammerhead is going to pull up a little bit. This Storm Surge. Oh, there's just so much wireweed. We're going to need the Builder Drone to come up and deal with that, yeah. And while he's at moving, he'll keep it healing the Razor Shark. Which, the Razor Shark is fully healed. Excellent. Let's see if we can scout around as to where the... We got a chaplain here, so they've still got a few of their dudes out here. This Sky Ray... Actually, I'm going to use this Sky Ray real quick to just move over and take this Jakaro encampment. Excellent. Very, very good. Okay. Now, other than that... Oh, he can also throw out a set of Seeker Missiles on this poor Chaplain, who will absolutely be taking the Seeker Missiles straight to the face. Because I find it funny. I enjoy your pain. Okay, let's see. And this Razor Shark is also keen to take some shots at the Chaplain. I'm not complaining. I see a singular Primaris Psyker. I don't know if that means the guard is down to really just their bare-bones units, or if it's just that the Primaris Psyker is out front to deal some spells, throw some fireballs at people. That's curious. Let's see. The Builder Drone's gonna take such a long time to get here. Do they take damage from Wireweed? It's a monster. It moves through cover. It's relentless. Smash. Strike down. Stabilizing anchors. Yeah, it's probably going to take damage. I'm just going to assume it will. Alright. The Storm Surge then. I hate to have the Storm Surge just sit there and do nothing, though. But, gotta do what you gotta do. Similarly, this Fireblade. I'm just going to have a lot of units here that are stuck until I can get rid of that. The Commander can move up. I'm just going to have a lot of units that are stuck here until we can get rid of this Wireweed. This Storm Surge, though, is going to move on down where he's needed. The Hammerhead, let's see. This Riptide can continue to do some scouting. Really? No Fortress of Redemption. Interesting choice. Okay, so we will go ahead and take that Jakaro encampment. Thank you, sir. I'm glad to have it. Do some scouting of the waters here. It's probably just going to be that. Just waters. Let's see, the Hammerhead, there's probably going to be something to throw down with down here, so prepare myself for that. Let's see, the Fortresses of Redemption, how much damage can we do to these Fortresses of Redemption before they really annihilate us? Let's see, go ahead and use the shield drone to put another shield on this Crisis Suits. The Fortress of Redemption, we really need to focus down this one Fortress of Redemption and get rid of it, because it does so much damage. It's already done over half of the broadside here's health. I don't want to run the risk. The broadside can't really get that far. He'd end up in the range of the other... okay. Let's see. Can we move the Ethereal out of the way, then? Because let me move the Ethereal out of the way here, and move the Pathfinders out of the way as well. That way the broadside can retreat. We can still do some damage here, though. The Fire Warriors, we'll go ahead and let them step up to put Marker Light on... Right, you can't put Marker Lights on buildings. I keep forgetting that. Nonetheless, let's see. We can throw out a Gun Drone at the very least to be annoying. And to take at least some hits that would have gone to somebody else. But at this point, the Gun Drone does so little damage, I'd rather put out Shield Drones. So I'll throw out a Shield Drone, and the Shield Drone will apply the shield to the broadsides. The broadsides will take some shots at the Fortress of Redemption. We've nearly got it down. See, this is so brutal. It feels almost toxic killing the Fortresses of Redemption, even if they belong to an AI, because they're so rare. As the Space Marines, you only get one every 10 turns. You know, and they're so satisfying to get as the Space Marines. The Fortresses of Redemption alone. I mean, it's been said before, like, it's a simple, visceral thing. There are a lot of... You can dissect game design in a lot of ways. And that's a very, very valuable thing to do. It really helps you to learn, not just, you know, for game designers, how do you design a better game, but for playing video games. It helps you better to understand why you enjoy the thing that you enjoy. And there's a lot of really complex ways you can do that. And there's a lot of great YouTube channels for that sort of thing, like Game Designer's Toolkit. Fantastic channel. Highly recommend it. But there is also something to be said for anytime there is a button or a resource that when you press it, when you get it, it is just an immediate, ooh, yeah. That means you've done something right. The Fortress of Redemption is just so satisfying every time you get it. I mean, I've heard the same thing said before. The channel Woolly Versus, one of my favorites, said the same thing in regarding Dead Space 1 about the power nodes. Which, any of you here that have played Dead Space 1 or 2, can't speak for 3, I don't know if they changed it in 3, didn't play 3, have no interest in playing 3, at least until they remake it. and make it be better. If you've played Dead Space 1 or 2, then yeah, you know every time you get a power node, it's a little excitement, like, it's a little bit of Christmas morning, every time you get one. Let's see here. In New Onel, we want to put in another mineral building. What a shock! I'm really going outside of my usual expectations today. What's the line from SpongeBob? Daring today, aren't we? Loyalty totem, excellent, I'll take it. Let's see, Hoyor has also produced a building of a sort. Let me see, I will also work on more mineral buildings, and I will get in an extra pop cap in Hoyor. Very good. Now let's see, I also produced a second airfield, so I am producing tiger sharks in 5 turns instead of 10. That sounds dirty. That sounds very, very dirty. At the very least, I order one, I get one. I am curious to see what effects it can have. Because if it can hit this string right here, I have a strong feeling that there's at least somewhat of a Space Marine army on this little strand right here, this little peninsula. If I can do some real damage to its rear using the Tiger Shark, that would be just great. Either which way, let's see. Here in Hoyor, we can go ahead and also produce... Let's see. Probably gonna need more power once the Tiger Sharks are done. Oh boy. You're gonna need a lot more power, so let's get that online. Let's see. Let's go ahead and, end the turn. There we go, those shield drones. Rest in peace. Died too soon. I could have used them for at least a couple more turns. Oh, hey, another Storm Raven. And a Predator. The AI, this is the thing that's great about playing the Tau, is the AI just has this bizarre predilection for attacking the drones, regardless of what the actual deadliest unit in your army is. They always go for the drones. Case in point, was the drone deadlier than the Riptide? No! Is the Riptide super tanky and thus you should devote as much missile fire to it as you can? Yes! Nonetheless, they proceed to attack the drones. Good work. Okay, let's do some damage here. If we overcharge it, it makes it worse. Okay, don't bother overcharging it. Let's see. If I were to move closer to the unit... Hang on, what if I... Control for max damage. Oh, that's a useful ability. Excellent. Okay, so I do want to move up just a little bit so I can get the max damage there. There we go, good. I don't know when they added that. They must not have added it recently. It must be old, and I've only just now noticed it, but it's cool. That's good for the multi-weapon vehicles, where some of the weapons have differing ranges, so you can see what's the best damage you're going to get at the closest range. I wonder if it works the same way. Hang on. Hang on, so that's at close range. Hang on, let's see. Is there a unit where I can test this out? Okay, so, if I hold control for max damage, yeah, that's cool. It can even do that with rapid-fire weapons. That's awesome. That's a big change. That's nice, that's nice. I need to introduce that to the other guys whenever I get them to play this game. Which, I talk about that a lot, but I'll do it at some point. I will actually get somebody to play this game with me. Okay, that's a cool little jungle. Alright, let's see. You, Mr. Hammerhead, are going to move up. So, you can do some damage to that Primaris Psyker, I guess. There we go. Let's see if we can do much to Mr. Psyker here. Let's see. The max damage, oh boy, yeah, let's go for max damage. Very, very good. Hammerhead tanks, not even once. Oh, hey, Tank Commander. Where'd you come from? Let's get rid of the Primaris Psyker first. He's the bigger threat. Well, not the bigger threat. He's the more immediately removable threat. The Tank Commander... We'll deal with you in time. The Devilfish will keep sitting in the back. He can at the very least lend some support with the Fire Warriors in tow. And if he gets worried, then he can just spray out Fire Warriors like a squid jettisoning ink. Okay, let's get these guys out of the way. Let's make a path here for the Builder Drone, which it will need. Let's see. The Builder Drone can't move that far, can it? Hang on. Okay, it hasn't. Okay, I wanted to check if it would update real quick, and it just can't move that fast. Let's see. The Razor Shark can also move in to do quite a bit of damage to the tank commander, but it can also just fly around here and get an idea of what's going on. Yeah, I see the edge of the Imperial Guard city there. Let's keep the Sky Ray back here where it can still lend some support. And this Storm Surge, it's time for that Fortress of Redemption to go. Can we finish off the Fortress of Redemption with any of the other units? Yes, we can. I'm actually going to want the Crisis Suit to pull out here, because it stands to... Hang on, is it Jetpack? It can ignore the penalties of Wireweed. Excellent. Okay, and if we move it up here, these Crisis Suits, they can nearly annihilate the Assault Marines. Oh no, your pithy little pistols. Now see some real weapons. Goodbye. There we go. Let's go ahead and use this shield drones. Let's see. Does this... It does consume their action. But let's go ahead. They'll still focus on the shield drone because they're idiots. Let's see. These broadsides I'll put the shield on them. They've already moved up. Let's see. The Razor Shark can move around to the other side and do more damage to... Yeah, the Razor Shark can deal with the Space Marines. Goodbye. This Hammerhead will be in a good spot to go ahead and move right here. Do more damage to the Fortress of Redemption from close up. Excellent. And losing a Fortress of Redemption almost hurts as much as losing a city. It's a brutal feeling. But on the bright side, I want to brutalize them. They're my enemies. Let's see. These Fire Warriors, I can move them up, but I won't. Not entirely. These broadsides still need to be healed, which, speaking of which, infantry and monstrous creatures. It heals infantry and monstrous creatures. Alright, well, Mr. Ethereal, let's see. How many buffs can you go ahead and throw around like candy? Just hand them out for free. Sense of Stone. Excellent. Now, go ahead and also pop your heal, buddy. Only a 3-turn cooldown. That's great. And you can also use Zephyr's Grace. I won't just yet, though, because none of these units really are going to benefit from it too much. These broadsides can't really do a whole lot. These Fire Warriors can move up. Could the broadsides... The broadsides have 3 moves, so the broadsides could replace the Fire Warriors there. I'm not going to move the Fire Warriors up. I'm going to move them back, because they're still useful no matter what. Even once Fire Warriors no longer really have the firepower to take on enemies. Not only are they still useful as meat shields, which isn't entirely what the purpose I like to use for them, but... They're still useful as... Hang on. Zephyr's Grace restores action points, but not moves. Okay, that's not so... If it was able to restore moves as well, then these broadsides will be able to do a lot of damage. Excuse me. The broadsides are going to focus on hitting... We can make the Razorback fall back somewhat, but I'd rather... What's the Razorback hit with? That rocket barrage that it can hit you with... Hang on. Smokescreen... It's got a twin-linked heavy bolter and a storm bolter. Oh, I thought it had a missile battery. Okay, it's irrelevant then. It's not going to do that much damage to my vehicles and mechs. Let's see. But Fire Warriors are still useful just for putting out drones. Even if you don't have any use for anything else, they are just cheap bone dispensers? No, drone dispensers. Good work. Okay, yeah, the Storm Surge is still sitting there waiting for someone to clear out the wireweed for it. As a matter of fact, I'd better move it over just here so the drone can clear out that one tile of wireweed right there, and that way it'll have the fastest way through. These Fire Warriors will all still just hang out here. This Hammerhead has done nothing. Oh, no, wait, okay, it's done something. It just can use its Seeker Missiles on the Tank Commander. Excellent. Now, let's see. Who else here is... Well, who here hasn't moved? Is it the commander? Hammerheads? No, I guess it was the Hammerhead that was firing the Seeker Missiles. Okay. Alright, we've got a Tiger Shark. Boy, ain't it a beauty. Hoo boy. The Tiger Shark isn't the Manta. I want to say the Manta is the absurd one you can get from Forge World for $1,000. Hoo boy. But let's see. Ion cannons with a range of 3. Those look like good numbers. Twin-linked missile pods, 2 sets of burst cannons. It's a flyer. It has a strafing run, so it increases ranged accuracy against ground units. Is a super heavy, increased armor, a remarkable 9 armor, 80 health. What? What? How much health does a Storm Surge have? 60 and 9 armor. Oh my god. Oh. 80 health. And 5 moves. And it's a flyer. It has all these vehicle upgrades put on it. I'm curious. Okay, how many... Does this thing have support system slots? It's got automated repair, so it heals 2 every turn. Increased sight range. Reduced range damage reduction. Returns melee damage. It's a flyer. Don't need to worry about that. Automatically marker lights all enemies, so it just ignores range damage reduction. Increased attacks. It's a vehicle. Hang on. Does this baby have some sight? It's already got the advanced targeting system by nature. But can I also throw a stimulant injector on it? No, I can't. Okay, it's not a mech. It just has one of the mech upgrades for free. Okay. Oh boy, it is a flying titan. It is actually a flying titan. That is nuts. That is nuts. Okay, let's trade influence for some minerals and for an extra population in Hoior. I am excited to try that new toy out. Let's see. Malkata is ready to produce another Brachioranum Foundry. Gonna need plenty of these if I want to get this city off the ground before the game has picked up any real speed. Let's see. Before the game comes to an end, excuse me. Gonna need the city to pick up speed before the game comes to an end. We're gonna put in another mineral foundry in Nuanal. And everything else, the cities are more or less ready. Hoior can get to work on another Tiger Shark. Ooh, let's hold off on that just for now. Gonna need to up our power production before we can do that. Oh, another Fortress of Redemption! Oh, 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 that hurts. Oh, there's the Necrons. My least favorite of the enemies. Oh, we got the meme references here, huh? Drive them closer so you can hit them with your sword. Alright, so I actually want to go ahead and wrap this up. It's been an hour. I'm feeling a little bit sick. And I want to leave off... Okay, I wanted to wrap it up this session, but apparently it ain't happening. But at the very least, I can come back and play with this new toy. And presumably finish off killing the AI, because... in the space of like 2 or 3 episodes, if you're seeing these episodes in the space of just one sitting, then it's probably pretty bizarre that I go from panicked and frightened just 3 episodes ago, or 4 episodes ago, to just laughing as I massacre loads of Space Marines. It is good, though. Sick of the Space Marines. Stupid Games Workshop's favorites. Anyways, except for the cool chapters. The cool chapters are cool. Which chapters are the cool ones? That's up to you. So I will see you folks later.